and welcome to the 72nd edition of Marex Maritime News. The headlines on Monday, the 28th of June 2021. Shipping community pressurises governments to end crew change woes. Global strike of all seafarers is the need of the hour, says former CEO. Grains plead inefficiencies push panamaxes higher. Crude oil prices likely to rise. Update on MMD exams. According to the latest data from the Global Maritime Forum, the crew change crisis is worsening. The number of seafarers working over their contracts has grown from 5.8% in May 2021 to 7.4% in June. The International Chamber of Shipping (ICS), along with members and partners, has urgently called for governments to prioritize seafarers for vaccinations, as ships around the world sound their horns on Day of the Seafarers to highlight a growing crew change crisis.
The world celebrated the International Day of the Seafarer on the 25th of June. But there are still problems with the seafarers in getting relieved. The IMO, despite all its efforts in making SOPs and enabling provisions for seafarers to be relieved upon completion of their duty, is yet to find favor with many governments who still restrict movement of seafarers despite compliance with all the protocols, the isolations, the quarantine, etc. We thank the Indian government for having taken note of the importance of the seafarer by naming them essential workers, and also easing the requirement of the gap between the two shots so that they can promptly return to duty once they've taken the 2 shots of the AstraZeneca or Covishield as it is called in India. We take this opportunity to thank DG Shipping for having issued the circular which permits this reduction in time from 84 days to 28 days. On our part, FOSMA and MASA have also embarked upon what we call the bio-bubble facility, which really is nothing else other than to comply with the Singapore's crew safe protocols. This is to ensure that the seafarers, when they travel out of India, are 99.9% free of the virus and they don't transmit the virus either to the host country or to the crew on board. We appeal to the Government of India to use this opportunity that once the seafarers have got their 2 shots and they follow the necessary bio-bubble, isolation and quarantine, the governments in the host countries look at this favorably and allow Indian seafarers to join. It's not just the Indian seafarers that are affected by the delay in crew changes. The seafarers globally, and on behalf of all the seafarers and the seafaring community, I appeal once again to the powers that be, please permit crew changes so that the seafarers can go back home after their honest stint on board.
Ever since the pandemic has broken out, it is the seafarer who has fearlessly continued working to bring to you medicines, medical equipment, raw material, and essential commodities among other cargoes. Take a moment. Think, if the seafarer had to stop working, the world would be in a graver mess than it is today. Seafaring contracts were reduced for a reason. The stress levels on board today's merchant ships is tremendous, and this only increases with an increase or an extended contract on board ship. Increased stress levels give rise to fatigue, physical and mental. This in turn increases the chances of having an accident on board. This could lead to calamities. We recently celebrated the International Day of the Seafarer. This year, it is our humble appeal, the gift that you can give the seafarer would be to review your travel policies quickly and restart crew changes under controlled conditions. Please think about it.
CEO of Transis and Volume Group, Frank Coles, recently said, "We need a global strike of all seafarers because change has never happened without something really bringing the role of the seafarer to the forefront." While we continue to have seafarers who worked in squalid and appalling conditions, while nobody in government is willing to stand up, nothing is going to change. Following the COVID-induced demand shock last year, Panamax shipments plunged by 4.2% in Q2 and a further 6% in Q3 compared to the year before. However, year-to-date volumes have posted a 6% growth on the year. The growth is particularly skewed to Q2 with April-May shipments surging by 15%. While base effects artificially inflate the figures, 2021 Panamax trades were at par with pre-pandemic levels in Q1 and have exceeded them by 10% so far in Q2.
Today, we are going to look at the theme, Dream to Reality, the Journey Continues. So in order to do justice to this particular topic, this time I'm going to look at the 4 elements and we are going to analyze those 4 elements. One is the supply, demand, money, that is the ship finance, and we are going to look at the regulatory part. Before we do that, let me take you back to 8th of March 2021 and the market which I have shown to you, which is written here, given the FFA average as well as the year-to-date averages. And then we said, taking into account 2019-20 and the year-to-date averages for the first quarter, that if the market went up 3 times, 2 times of the average of these 3 figures, then we will call it JM's great cycle. And if it went 3 times more than that and more above that, then we'll call it JM super cycle. So let's see where we stand on the 25th of June. On the 25th of June, we are seeing the Cape size is 33,690 on the spot market, and we have 23,777, which is the year-to-date average. Similarly, on the Panamax side, size we got 31,438 and 20,000. In short, what we are seeing is the year-to-date continues trending north. Now, if you see on the left-hand side, I've taken these graphs thanks to Bancosta from the June 2021 Panamax and post-Panamax report. When we see TC average seasonality, the years 2016 till now, we notice that from April this year to now, market has simply shot up. It's like a balloon which is going up. And also, if we look at the 1-year time charter rate on dry bulk for the last 5 years, coming very close to 2021, we can see the market is simply showing a vertical line up, which is quite encouraging for the dry bulk market. Now, coming to those 4 elements that I discussed, when we see supply, what are the main things which are happening in supply, which is causing the dry bulk market to go up the way it is going up? Thin order book, just 5.8% order book as compared to the overall fleet. And that's in 2021, thanks to Clarksons for that. And year-to-date increase in the growth is just on the supply side, is just about 1.6%. And if we compare that with the demand growth that we are expecting in 2021 in the dry bulk is almost 4%, which is quite a lot of gap in there. So market is deficient as far as supply is concerned. Now coming specifically to Panamax to post-Panamax fleet growth. Now this is from Bancosta. We are seeing this year is 3% increase on the net fleet growth. And going forward, it is in backwardation, 2% and 0%. Further, we are seeing the longer duration, slower speeds reduces the effective supply of ships. Of course, if a ship is taking 20 days more on a particular voyage, it means she is not available for a new cargo. So indirectly, the supply of ships gets tighter. We'll look at it again when we discuss the regulations. New building orders were there in the beginning of this year. They are still there, but far and few in between. people who are placing these new building orders, they are justifying by saying that if you're looking at depreciation of 5%, so in 20 years, I'm going to depreciate my ship. So if the ship is being ordered now and delivers in 2023 and 2024, by 2044, she would be scrapped. So we are not going towards 2050. So far the ships are complying with IMO phase 3 of EEDI and the tier 3 for NOx. So some people are using that as the justification. However, at present, the new building orders have slowed down even for this year. On the demand side, COVID-19 go away. With the vaccinations increasing, demand is going up. So there is stimulus, there's liquidity and pent-up demand, which is coming back. And the bulk demand, as I mentioned earlier, is expected to be about 4% year on year. Short term, there's grains boom, minor bulks demand, coal deficiency will result in maybe increased ton miles, which is good for the Panamax and Ultramaxes. We must remember, as far as demand is concerned, China is the key player, and China has got foot on the paddle. If they accelerate, market goes up. If they decelerate, market either stagnates or there's a tendency for the market to go up. So there's a lot of caution which is required. Money part, ship finance, we still don't learn. I mean, those days of ordering in 2007 and 8, we all know what happened. So only thing which is holding back for the enthusiasm with regards to ordering more ships, looking at the existing state of the market, is the uncertainty about the compliant propulsion fuels. Another thing which is quite interesting is shipping is again becoming favorite of the institutional finance, funds coming from there, and also the hedge funds. Recently, we saw a lot of one bond and two equity IPOs, and they were oversubscribed. So overall, there is a inclination of the public at large, as well as the hedge funds and the institutional finance, to invest into shipping. Coming to regulations, carbon intensity of existing ships is to be reduced by 2% per year from 2023 to 2026 as per IMO. And this can be achieved either by having ESDs, which is the energy saving devices, or what we need is the slow steaming of the ships. So every 1 knot requires an additional supply of almost 7%. Now this one is specific for the Cape, delivery Qingdao, going to Brazil, Tubarão, coming back to Qingdao. So from 82.8 days on 12 knots, it is coming to 90.3 days on 11 knots. But if we compare with the 15 knots, which is the average CP speed, we are looking at 24 days longer. So there would be if there is a sustainable requirement to slow steam the ship, there is virtual shortage of ships. And with that, I would like to end with that we need to find long-term solutions for the decarbonization rather than short-term solutions such as what we are doing right now.
Needs of shipping are vast. Needs for supplies and services are not always predictable, but certainty is critical. So certainty is a must on deliverables, besides time and location. Welcome to InShip. It is operated by mariners and operated for mariners. InShip is a digital platform for mariners, suppliers, service providers, and consultants. We facilitate marketplaces across oceans to ensure ease of trade for making ship supplies and services happen. We at InShip embrace digital transformation to bring in certainty. InShip is a platform with port-specific suppliers and service providers. This marketplace is accessed by shipping companies and mariners to place order for deliveries at their port of call. If you are a mariner, then InShip is your go-to contact for your supplies and services needs. Our goal is making your trade happening promptly, anywhere. For suppliers, we create sea of opportunities. We help suppliers improve sales with global visibility and access buyers with swift response to RFPs and online procurement. We promote mariners, the next-gen transformation, and accelerate the delivery process. We provide digital platform, a marketplace of all shipping needs, streamline suppliers, enhance access to service providers, and bring in ease of trade. In-ship vision is to drive invention, to enhance seamless procurement with high-tech platform, and enable smart trade, while creating a trustable marketplace. In-ship gives access to vendors and service providers, a platform to onboard a broad range of shipping needs. Mariners can come with confidence to access the listed offerings. With more and more vendors getting listed, and more mariners actively making procurements, In-ship as a marketplace unleashes endless possibilities of digitalizing the shipping needs. With future needs of shipping industry as our focus, In-ship is building artificial intelligence-driven platform to proactively predict the shipping needs. In-ship keeps actively onboarding more vendors across ports, deploy AI and ML solutions to advise on spend patterns, and creating thought leadership to enable sea trade with intelligence. We bridge the needs of mariners with qualified vendors and consultants in making our vision a reality, in being a smarter procurement enabler. With In-ship, we look forward to work together in creating digital platform and partner in mutual growth with next-gen intelligence. Please get in touch with us. A sea of opportunity awaits mutually. Log on now to inship.com.
World's biggest oil companies have said that crude prices are likely to keep rising because a lack of investment will curtail future supply. The CEO of Royal Dutch Shell plc and Total Energies SE joined major commodity traders and banks in predicting that oil could go as high as $100 a barrel. Although they also said volatile markets could drive prices back down again. And now an update on the state of MMD exams across India.
The DG Shipping is trying its best to hold the MMD exams in the present conditions. The orals have already gone online, which is an extremely good step and would be very successful. The written exams, as the opportunity arises, should be held in large number during the spurts allowable. COVID is not going to allow us a timetable based exam that every month they will be possible to be held. There will be peaks during this time and there will be flats during this time where we can hold the exam in a larger number. There should be more examination centers during the time in which the exams can be held. And yes, there will be times when because of the lockdown and the various conditions, the exam will not be able to be held. So we should take the opportunity of the lulls in these waves and hold exams and get our boys out to sea. There is a larger number of people waiting at the level of entry which need to go to the ship. Otherwise, they've been here for 3 years past after doing their pre-sea, after doing their sea time, and still hanging around awaiting for exams. And we see that the results of the exam is directly impacted by the time they are waiting after the course is over. I would request that during the time when the exams are possible, a number of seats should be increased, and during the lockdown, definitely you can't do anything.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. See you next Monday.